what they say, they may accuse you of overreacting. Rather than say what they feel or think, people who disguise their hostility usually mutter their dissent to themselves or use a nonverbal way of expressing their feelings, for example, by giving you the silent treatment, dirty looks, or rolling their eyes. A passive-aggressive person is good at being a victim, unable or unwilling to look at their own part in a situation. They will go silent, sulk, and be sullen in order to get attention or sympathy. If they can, they will find a way to blame others, avoid responsibility for their own feelings and emotions, which, in fact, they brought about by their own actions. Passive-aggressive actions and behavior. When it comes to tasks at home or work, a person using disguised hostility may or may not appear cooperative, but either way, they'll do things to disrupt or sabotage a task, activity, or project, often by creating confusion around the issue. He or she may decline to contribute their ideas, but when your ideas and actions aren't successful, they may respond with, "I knew it wouldn't work." In order to resist doing what you ask them to do, these people will stall, turn up late, drag their heels, and procrastinate. They will find excuses for delays and reasons for not doing something, invent difficulties or complications, or forget about what they were asked to do. They can be deliberately inefficient, doing something badly or leaving it incomplete. When a person is using disguised hostility in a passive-aggressive way, they may or may not be consciously aware of how manipulative and devious they're being. Whatever, you are left feeling confused, upset, offended, or frustrated. You may even feel guilty. You think you've done something wrong, but you're not sure what. Disguised hostility is a form of conflict that doesn't allow either of you to engage sensibly in the issues. It avoids the real issues. Why do people behave like this? People usually express their hostility and resentment in underhand ways because, for whatever reason, they feel unable to say directly what they really think, feel, or want. It's a dynamic born of fear of being controlled, fear of confrontation, hidden anger, and an inability to deal straight with people. They may lack the confidence to say what they do or don't want. If they've been discouraged or suffered in the past for openly expressing their feelings, anger, frustration, or disappointment, they will use less detectable ways to say what they think and feel. Whereas a passive person will simply accept the needs, feelings, and opinions of others, a passive-aggressive person is not happy to submit to others. But rather than assert themselves and stand up for themselves in direct, honest ways, they resort to underhand tactics to get what they want. Almost all our faults are more pardonable than the methods we think of to hide them. Typical passive-aggressive types are people who come across as having a victim mentality or who are persistently negative. The victim. This person imagines all slights against them, real or imagined, are intentional. They become upset at any hint of disapproval. They are sensitive to any indication that you don't like them or agree with them. You have to walk on eggshells around them in case you say or do the wrong thing, and they accuse you of disrespecting them. Rejection or the expectation of it makes them hostile. Their reactive aggression is more likely to manifest in passive rather than overt aggression. The victim looks for signs of being excluded, but the irony is that in time their victim mentality, their sensitivity and negativity, does, in fact, cause others to avoid them. They may wallow in feelings of self-pity because they believe that everyone else gets all the breaks. Victims are, by nature, martyrs too. They need to let you know how much they are suffering. They seek sympathy or attention by feigning or exaggerating any difficulty or deprivation they are experiencing. The negative person. Negative people often don't realize they're being difficult, but they quickly get on other people's nerves with their tendency to see or anticipate bad results or undesirable outcomes, difficulties, and problems. These people bring your mood down with their pessimism and general sense of distrust. They may also be chronic worriers. What could be a minor problem for you and everyone else is a hopeless situation for them. Some people are so entrenched in seeing the negative side of a situation that they leave no room for positive things to happen. Their negative attitudes and opinions can be contagious. They may dash your hopes and discourage your dreams. Negative people can undermine your potential with their negative opinion of what you are capable of achieving. Beware, if you give in and let their negativity define you, you will morph into their version of who you really are. Passive behavior. Passive behavior happens when a person does not express their true thoughts, feelings, opinions, or needs. This can manifest itself in different ways. A passive person may be a people pleaser. Rather than expressing what they really feel and want, they go along with what everyone else wants, seeking their approval, wanting to be liked, and unable to turn down other people's demands. Instead of voicing their own opinions or making choices that will be controversial, unpopular, or could hurt feelings, they wait for others to speak first and then agree with pretty much everything others say. They may be clingy and needy and lean on you more than they should. People pleasers are often placatory, appeasing, pacifying, and attempting to win others over. But their compliance can get irritating and difficult to deal with, especially when they overcommit themselves and let you down because they can't say no to someone or something else. In this way, they end up damaging relationships rather than strengthening them. Passive behavior, then, can manifest itself by doing whatever others want. But it can also be evidenced by non-participation, not taking part, or not taking responsibility. Initially, you may find these people agreeable and easy to get along with, but it soon becomes clear that they are not contributing, engaging, or taking responsibility. They rarely commit themselves or initiate activities, preferring instead to leave it to other people to get things going and make things happen. They avoid decisions, leaving you feeling frustrated at their inability to engage. Passive verbal behavior. Typically, you may hear passive people say things like, "I don't know," "I don't mind," "It's up to you," or "whatever you think is best." But these responses do not tell you what that person really feels, thinks, wants, or doesn't want. And, because they are accepting and rarely disagree, you begin to doubt whether they mean it or even care. You may notice that they rarely stand up for what is right or wrong, back you up, or support you. They prefer to avoid friction of any kind. Why do people behave like this? A person may have developed a pattern of unassertive, passive behavior as a response to parents, teachers, siblings, or friends who were dominant and controlling or didn't allow the person, as they were growing up, to express their thoughts and feelings freely. They may think that others will be hurt, angry, or disappointed if they do not do what other people want. In fact, they may believe that they do not have the right to state their needs and opinions. They may be afraid of displeasing others and of not being liked and want to protect their nice guy or nice girl image. It may be that a person behaves in a passive way because they fear disapproval or derision from others for their decisions and opinions, so they hand over control and responsibility to others. But a person may also behave in a passive way because they can't be bothered, they're not interested, don't care, and simply have no desire to contribute and participate. No doubt you have recognized someone you know in these descriptions of difficult people and their behavior. We all know at least one person who leaves us feeling upset or let down, frustrated or angry, humiliated or confused, drained or despairing. Understanding how and why someone else is being difficult can give you a better chance of dealing with them. But just how much is it the other person? It's not always easy to tell if someone is deliberately being difficult or if it's just you who has struggled. Danielle. Since she was a child,